Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today you have a sort of review equations worksheet, and then on the back you have some capacity um, to work on. And I wanted to just remind you about how to do the equations and then talk to you about capacity. So this is the front of the worksheet with the equations, so you can see there are 10 of them. Show your work, keep track of the negatives. So let's take a look what I mean by keep track of the negatives. This is an example. X minus 7 equals negative 26. So I want to just remind myself that I have like this possible negative situation over here, maybe, maybe not. And then over here, I do have a negative number. So depending on if I want to look at this as subtraction or at adding a negative, that's kind of up to you. You can solve it however you want. You can try the guess and substitute. But remember, the way that we've been trying to do it is using the inverse. So I have x, I already have x minus 7, and then I need to do the opposite, which would be plus 7. And then I do the same thing to the other side. And over here, this ends up being nothing. Negative 7 plus 7 is 0. So I have x, and then negative 26 plus 7, I have to make sure that I realize that my higher number is a negative, so I know that my answer is also going to be a negative, and then I subtract, and 26 minus 7 is 19. So then in this case, my answer is negative 19. And like I said, if you want to use the substitution and guess and check method, you can, but this is the way that we've been trying to do it. And then you also will have some multiplication and division problems. And you can do guess and check with this one too, or you can use the inverse, which we haven't necessarily talked about yet, but it works the same way as it did with addition and subtraction. You know, you do the opposite. So over here, I have 54 equals negative 2 times f. The inverse of multiplication is division, so I would divide by negative 2. And I keep my negative sign. And over here, I've now got 54 divided by negative 2 equals f. And 54 divided by 2 is 27. Keep my negative sign, equals f. That's doing it the inverse way. Like I said, if you want to use guess and check or substitute, that's fine. This is just the algebraic solution. So you've got 10 of those problems to do. On the other side, today we're reviewing units of capacity. So your teacher will give you this handout to stick into your notebook. And this isn't completely new information. You've seen this picture before, and you've done capacity before. Remember, capacity is how much fits in something. And so the G is a gallon, and that's the largest unit of capacity on this sheet. And like a gallon of milk, for example, and inside a gallon you can fit 4 quarts. That's where the Q's come in. Inside each quart you can fit 2 pints. Inside each pint you can fit 2 cups. So if I wanted to count how many quarts equal a gallon, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4 quarts equal a gallon. Or how many pints equal a gallon? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pints equals a gallon. There are some written down here, a little handy dandy cheat sheet. Wow, guys, cheat sheet for you. And then your assignment today, it has that information at the top for you, but I also wanted you to have it in your notebook. And then you're going from one unit of measure to another, and depending on if you're going from bigger to smaller, you might be multiplying or dividing. So you're always going to be either or, multiplying or dividing. So if I want to know how many quarts, and I'm starting with pints, I can see up here there are 2 pints for each quart. So I'm going from bigger to smaller. Twice as many pints in 1 quart. So really it's 26 divided by 2. 26 divided by 2 is 13. With 12 pints to cups, I see here that there are 2 pints or 2 cups for every pint. So there are more cups that I need, so I'm actually needing a bigger number. So 2 cups per pint, I've got 12 pints. 12 times 2, so that's 24. You know, this actually is an algebra problem when you think about it, which is what we've been working on. If I know that I have 12 pints, and I know that for every 1 pint, I have 2 cups, that can be my problem. Okay, so just think about that. You'd always want to ask yourself if it makes sense. The best way to check your work on the worksheet is to make sure that the number that's supposed to be bigger is bigger. So for example, I know that ounces are smaller than cups. So I know I'm going to need fewer cups than ounces. And our gallon picture doesn't have ounces on the inside, but it has it on the chart. Right? And if you need help with that, you've got adults who can help you with that, and you can pause and rewatch this video. All right? So you're going to do both sides of that worksheet today, turn it in, and then get started on Dreambox.